Ladies and gentlemen, friends, thank you for being here tonight. Every year I meet more and more people who tell me the same thing. They say, I walk every day. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I'm staying active, and I always smile, nod, and say, that's wonderful. Keep walking. But then I ask them a simple question. Are you stronger today than you were a year ago? And almost every time, they pause. Their smile fades a little. They think about it, really think about it, and then they say, well, no, not really, but at least I'm moving, and that, my friends, is where the truth begins. Because yes, walking is good. Walking is healthy. Walking gets your heart going. It clears your mind. But when you cross that magic threshold, that 50-year mark, walking alone just isn't enough anymore. Not if you want to stay truly alive. Not if you want to move, to lift, to laugh, to live in a body that still feels like yours. So tonight, I want to talk to you about the one exercise that outshines walking, the one form of movement that's been proven again and again in science, in practice, and in life to slow down aging, protect your body, sharpen your mind, and even change the way you feel about yourself. And that exercise, my friends, is strength training. Now, before you cross your arms and tell me, I'm too old for weights, let me stop you right there. Strength training is not just for bodybuilders or gym rats. It's not about lifting heavy things to impress anyone. It's about reclaiming something most of us didn't even realize we were losing, our strength. Because here's the truth that no one tells us. Once you hit your 40s, you start losing muscle. Slowly, quietly, invisibly. About 3% to 8% every decade. Then, after 50, it speeds up to 1% of your muscle mass gone every single year. And it doesn't stop there. As muscle fades, strength fades, balance fades, metabolism slows, bones weaken, energy dips. Your body begins to whisper, I can't. And if we ignore it long enough, that whisper becomes a voice. Then it becomes a scream, until one day, something as simple as getting out of a chair or carrying a grocery bag feels like a challenge. But here's the good news, the beautiful truth. You can stop that decline. You can reverse it. You can grow stronger at 50, 60, 70, even 80 years old. And all it takes is resistance. When you push against resistance, a dumbbell, a resistance band, your own body weight, your muscles respond by saying, we need to grow. And they do. They grow thicker, denser, more capable. Your bones grow stronger. Your metabolism wakes up. Your energy rises. And suddenly, you feel something you thought was gone. Vitality. That, my friends, is the gift of strength training. Now let's talk about walking for a moment. Walking is wonderful for your heart and your mind. It's gentle. It's meditative. But here's what walking doesn't do. It doesn't challenge your body enough to rebuild it. You can walk 5 miles a day and still lose muscle. You can walk every morning and still weaken over time. Because walking maintains. It doesn't reclaim. And after 50, maintaining is no longer enough. We need to rebuild. You see, your body is like a living, breathing engine. If you don't use it fully, if you never press the accelerator, parts of it start to rust. Strength training presses that accelerator. It keeps your engine running strong. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't have time. I don't want to look bulky. Let's clear those myths right now. First, strength training doesn't mean lifting huge weights. You can start with small dumbbells. You can use your body weight, squats, push-ups against a wall, seated leg lifts, resistance bands. What matters isn't how heavy it is. What matters is that your muscles are working against something. Second, it's not dangerous when done properly. In fact, studies show that strength training actually reduces the risk of injury. It strengthens the tendons, the joints, and even your balance, which means fewer falls, fewer broken bones, and fewer hospital visits. And third, you won't look bulky. That's a myth born from fear. The truth is, most people over 50 struggle just to maintain enough muscle to stay toned. Strength training gives you a leaner, firmer, younger-looking body, not a bulky one. But the real power of this kind of exercise isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. Because when you train for strength, you send a message to your mind. I am not done yet. You tell yourself, I can still grow. I can still improve. I can still defy time. That message changes everything. You start walking taller. You start feeling proud of your body again. You start believing, truly believing, that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean evolution. Let me share a story. A few years ago, a woman named Diane came to me. She was 62 years old. She told me, "I've been walking every day for years, but I still feel weaker. I still gain weight. My knees hurt. My back hurts." I told her, "Diane, walking has kept your heart alive, but it's time to bring your body back to life." We started small. A few resistance band exercises, a few light dumbbells, twice a week. That's all. At first, she struggled. Her arms trembled. Her legs shook. She doubted herself, but then something magical happened. After just a month, she said, "I don't know what's happening, but I feel powerful." Her energy skyrocketed. Her pain faded. She started sleeping better, standing taller, smiling more. And the day she lifted a suitcase into the overhead compartment by herself on a flight, she texted me in all caps, "You were right. That, right there, is what this is about." It's not about lifting weights. It's about lifting yourself, lifting your confidence, your independence, your quality of life. And the science backs it all up. Strength training has been shown to reduce the risk of heart disease, diabetes, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, depression, and even certain cancers. It improves posture, balance, and cognitive function. It literally slows down biological aging. One study from Harvard found that people over 50 who strength trained at least twice a week had a 46% lower risk of early death than those who did in single quotes. Think about that for a second. Nearly half the risk, just by challenging your muscles. You see, when you build strength, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. Now, let's imagine what that looks like. Imagine waking up in the morning, getting out of bed easily, without groaning, without pain. Imagine carrying groceries, climbing stairs, playing with your grandkids, not just watching from the bench, but being in it. Imagine walking down the street and feeling that quiet pride in your step, knowing that you are strong, capable, and alive. That's what strength training gives you. But to get there, you have to start. And starting doesn't mean buying fancy equipment. It means deciding, right now, that you deserve a stronger life. It means doing something today that your future self will thank you for. Maybe that means joining a class. Maybe it means lifting a water bottle while you watch TV. Maybe it means doing squats while you brush your teeth. It doesn't matter how small it is. What matters is that you begin. Because once you begin, momentum builds. And before long, that first small step becomes a lifestyle. Let me tell you something that's hard to hear, but absolutely true. Aging is not the enemy. Weakness is. We can't stop time, but we can stop decay. We can't erase our years, but we can rewrite what they mean. Every time you pick up a weight, every time you push against resistance, you're not just building muscle. You're declaring independence from the myth that aging means decline. And that declaration changes everything. Because strength doesn't just live in your arms or your legs. It lives in your mind. When you feel strong in your body, you feel strong in your soul. You start saying yes to life again. Yes to new experiences. Yes to laughter, travel, love, movement, freedom. That's why strength training is more than exercise. It's a revolution against fragility, against helplessness, against fear, and it's a revolution you can join at any age. You are not too old to start. You are too alive not to. I've seen 75-year-olds deadlift their own body weight. I've seen 80-year-olds do push-ups. I've seen 90-year-olds regain the ability to climb stairs, to walk without canes, to dance again. They didn't do it with luck. They did it with resistance. Resistance, after all, is the secret to growth in life as in the gym. Think about it. Muscles grow when they face resistance. So do we die when life pushes against you, when you lose someone, when your body hurts, when the mirror shows changes you don't want to see? That's resistance too. And just like in training, you can let that resistance break you, or you can let it build you. Every rep, every challenge, every set, in the gym or in life, is an opportunity to grow stronger. And strength, my friends, is freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from limitation. Freedom from the quiet surrender that comes when you stop believing you can improve. So tonight, I want you to make a promise to yourself, not to me, to yourself. Promise that you will start building your strength again, that you will reclaim your body, that you will not settle for just getting by. Because walking may keep you moving, but strength training keeps you alive. You've got decades ahead of you. Decades. How you live them, whether you walk, Through them or power through them is up to you. So when you wake up tomorrow, I want you to look in the mirror and say, this is my time. I am not fragile. I am strong. I am growing. And then prove it. One rep at a time. Lift something. Push against something. Challenge yourself, because every time you do, you are literally rewriting your future. And when you're 60, 70, 80 years old, and